What's good? Remember to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. The Draymond Green Show with Baron Davis doesn't happen without you, so please subscribe. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Draymond Green Show with BD. BD is not here right now currently because BD is out doing something with some politicians for voting. So he's going to tune in whenever he get here. Anyway, we got NBA champion, NBA All-Star, and the starting guard of the Houston Rockets, Fred VanVleet, who was once a guest on the Draymond Green Show. This is his first time on the Draymond Green Show with Baron Davis. Give a warm welcome to my brother, Freddie V. What up, my dog?
Man, what's up, bro? Thanks for having me back again.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming on, man. Listen, we got to break this ice because everybody want to know, and I want to know. And as you know, it's a little near and dear to my heart because anytime you play someone in the NBA Finals, there's a natural beef created because it is what we all want, and it just naturally happens. And so I am happy to see Toronto in dismay, and I just want to know, like, what do you make of this whole DeMar Drake thing? Drake saying he ain't getting his jersey retired, I'll pull it down. DeMar saying good luck with that, pretty much saying, like, of course my jersey get retired. You as an NBA champion, Toronto Raptor, what's your take on this whole thing?
Man, I hate to see it, man. I hate to see it. Obviously, DeMar is someone that I've grown close to, someone like a big brother to me. Drake, I consider a friend, someone that, I got a lot of love and respect for. So, I hate to see it between those two. Obviously, they got their own personal relationship, and that went however it went. It went a lot of different ways. So I hope they figure it out. I hope it ain't, what I'm saying, nothing crazy, nothing serious. What I'm saying. I just hope everybody can figure it out. But yeah, I don't like to see that.
Do you think ultimately DeMar jersey gets retired with the Raptors?
Yeah, I think it should. I think that when you look at what he did, especially when you want to give the history of the franchise and what Vince and all of those guys meant at the beginning, and what that meant for Canadian basketball, because that's what a lot of people don't understand is how much impact the team and the franchise has on the country. So we saw the impact that what Vince had, and then we saw it again with DeMar. He didn't lead the team to the title, but he ultimately built that foundation and laid that foundation. And those were 59 win teams. Those were first overall seeds. That was the Eastern Conference Finals. And I witnessed some of the best basketball played with his 2 years there. So yeah, I would love to see that for him and for the city and for the team, but only time will tell.
Do you think when looking at that situation, do you think that's something that ultimately a Drake with all the power that he has in Canada, let alone Toronto, do you think, but this is the NBA though, so it's a little different, but I don't know, like, do you think that's, and being someone that spent time in Toronto, the majority of your career in Toronto, do you think that's something that he has the power to alter?
It's hard to say. I would say that I don't think it helps.
Yeah.
I don't think it helps. You know what I mean? I don't think them, being at odds or whatever the case may be, helps the case of him getting his jersey retired. But also you got to think, and just for me being there and knowing a little bit about the behind the scenes of the Vince situation, which was directly like with ownership and people, within the organization who had a bad taste in their mouth after he left. For them to be able to overcome that over time and still pay homage to the work and the testament of the person that he was and the things that he did while he was there, I think he still was able to overcome some of those behind the scenes things. So Yeah, I hope that this situation isn't, you know what I'm saying, that deep to where it's like we kind of change the legacy or the history, you know, of the basketball that was played. And I believe all things can be reconciled, you know what I mean, as long as ain't nobody been hurt and nothing physical has happened, you know, it's you know, men being men and, you know, I think they'll figure it out.
BC the first, who's ultimately, if you look at the next, say 15 years from now, what jerseys will be hanging alongside VCs in Toronto, in your opinion?
Man, it just I don't know. It depends on, you know, who's calling those shots. But if you just want to go down the list, I think that it would make sense for Vince's to be up there. Um, Chris Bosh was another major cornerstone piece and just a standout talent that was drafted there early. Obviously, Cal will go down as, you know, the fan favorite, greatest Raptor of all time, people's champion. And then DeMar, I think that's a good four. I think Kawhi was the best player that we ever had, that the team ever had. You know, that was the highest, you know, level that was reached. But I don't know how much you can give to someone who only played a year. You know what I'm saying, under the team. But I think any of those combination of those four. I think Kyle definitely is going up there. And then, you know, we'll see what happens with DeMar. I think DeMar definitely deserves to be up there.
All-Star, I think ultimately the key to the championship, because we couldn't figure you out. You don't think you ultimately go up there?
Yeah, it's hard for me to think about myself right now, just, you know, being in the midst of my own career. But I think again, you still have to see how time, you know, time will kind of judge us all, and we'll look back. And I know for myself, it being almost what five years now since the championship, like we get farther and farther away from it, and it becomes like more and more important and more
Yeah.
relevant and like harder to get back to. So it's like,
Mhm.
you know, you start to realize how great that moment was. Um, I wish that I would have got a little bit longer, you know, time as like a starter and a guy to, you know, to make more of an impact. Um, but I'm very happy with, you know, the career that I had there, the impact I left, and the relationships that I built. And I think that run is, you know, one of those legendary runs. So yeah, I would love to go up there.
Speaking of, and switching gears a little bit, or just us as NBA players, obviously something when you're at the level that we're speaking of that we all deal with and is important. You know, Steve Kerr always mentions it like it's it's the thing that we all get frustrated and with that we hate, but yet it's the thing that we have to love the most because the media attention that is on our sport is the reason, you know, you can sign a $100+ million deal, and I can sign $100 million deal, and you know, guys are now starting to sign $300 million deals, and the reason being is because there's so much interest in our sport and the media attention and the media rights deal and all those things. Yeah, we're constantly under scrutiny, 24-hour scrutiny, and sometimes things are written that may not be as fair. Um, this week, not few days ago, it was reported by Shams that Joel had got into a physical altercation with a reporter. Um, how, you know, to my understanding, I didn't read the article, but I read what came of the article, where he kind of looped in his brother and his son and mentioning his legacy and what he hasn't done, and you know, uh, it led to a physical altercation. What are your thoughts before any other questions? Just what are
Yeah,
your thoughts on the initial situation?
yeah. I think, man, I think that in this space, I think that the way that we have grown so fast and with the money that's involved and just the everyday 24-hour news cycle and everything seems so important. And you can just be a guy on Twitter with a voice, and Draymond Green might see my tweet and he might respond to me. And then, like, now people know my name. And I think that with all of that being said, I think we've lost like some of the professionalism that goes with what this is still considered a billion-dollar business. So first and foremost, the whatever the article was, the excerpt that he wrote about his brother, his late brother, was super out of pocket.
Yeah,
Like
that's crazy.
super out of pocket, crazy, no context, no reason to even loop that in under any circumstances. And you can't like take a dig at somebody in the same paragraph that you mentioned, someone that lost a loved one so close to them. So I would say that first and foremost. Now, would I have did that? I don't know. So I'm not gonna knock Joel for that because I don't know how I would have responded. I probably, I think he understands the consequences that come with that. So I'm sure he knew that before he made his move. But I feel like me personally, if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna just go all the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
it's not gonna be a push or a grab. It's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Somebody getting slapped up. Like once it's time to go all the way there, it's just time, and we take our punishment and we keep it moving. But yeah, I'm not like condoning violence or pushing for that, but it's like certain things, as a man, you still have to stand on some type of principles. And that comment was super out of pocket. And I think that maybe there was other ways it could have been put out. Probably shouldn't have been, allowed in the locker room at that point, or kept away, or whatever the case may be. So we'll see how it shakes out. But I think we all got to be careful how we carry this thing, as it continues to grow, because we can't like lose sight of some of the things that helped it be what it was as well. We can still mess it up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So it's like
sure.
everybody got to be on their p's and q's. Not just players. Players always get the flack. They get the money and the flack, which is how it goes. But it's like the media plays a part as well.
Yeah, nah, for sure. I think, like you said, man, it was foul for that dude to like. There's no need for you to mention his son. There's no need for you to mention his brother. It's a terrible, like the way you looped it in. It looked like you were just thirsty to actually loop it in because it didn't. It didn't make the statement greater.
No.
Like it actually only made what you were saying about that thing. Like
Right.
it didn't make anything. Like actually, you did that, and because of that, no one knows any other part of your article that you wrote. And quite honestly, I don't think anyone gives a shit to even know now because they know the most important part is you did that and took that shot for no reason and you got beat up on a little bit. And like you said, I don't want to condone violence. I've had a little
Yeah, you
history with
can't
some
you can't
things that
condone violence.
I'm, I'm the total opposite way. But I wasn't in this situation, so I'm gonna talk about
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
And I agree with you. Hey, if you're gonna go there, you might as well just go there because the consequence is the same. But the I always say yes, there is a responsibility on us as players to uphold a certain level of integrity and a level of professionalism and to continue to give to this game. You know what I'm saying? Because you still got to continue to give to this game for the next young guys that come through. It's our responsibility to deliver it to them in great standard, not deliver it to them in shitty standard. And so we have an obligation and a responsibility to do that. I think there's also an obligation and a responsibility, though, on some of these PR staffs. If you know that's happened, you know Joel feel a way about it. Maybe you don't have that guy in the locker room or around at that time. Maybe you have Joel's security on high alert that, hey, he need to be between him and this guy at all times because he's feeling away. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to sometimes the stuff with the PR, it can be so transactional because they're just trying to get these interviews done.
Yeah.
And you can miss out on the piece of, let me see how this guy is feeling, because that can happen. Like these are real human beings, man. These ain't robots. These ain't robots that Elon Musk created. These are real human beings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These are people with real emotions and real feelings, making real split-second decisions, spur-of-the-moment decisions. And can you do a better job as a PR staff of protecting guys? Because, it's, for instance, it was what it was, but like, could you have protected me from that guy that asked me the very first question of media day? People are worried about you. How, what like, uh, could you have protected me from that? Because I could have responded differently, and that been the whole thing of media day. And
Yeah.
could you have protected me from that? You know what I'm saying? Like, because, is it your job?
Yeah. To a
Kinda.
certain extent. Yeah, to a
Yeah,
certain
like,
extent.
so
I think
I
yeah.
look at it that. Go ahead. Yeah.
I've been in some situations, not to the extent of what Joel did, but some other locker rooms that I've been a part of where they're, you know how it go. Players get irritated with certain reporters, or through the course of the season, or they say things, and Twitter get a lot of people in trouble. People just like to tweet during the games, things like that. So I've had PR staffs that have removed people, certain times, or maybe you just take you move them around when you got to move them around, just to like let everything die down. Because, like you said, it not just people. We're talking about like high functioning, like super talented, super egotistical, super emotional, like people, and we put our lives on the line. Yes, we're paid very well and all of those things, but it's like we still are given a lot on a daily basis and expected to take the high road all the time. Like you might
Every
not
single
pass,
time.
you might not pass that test every single time. If you gotta
Yeah.
do it 1,000 times, you might slip up one time, and like I said, maybe could have handled it better, but I think everybody have to look and see what they could have did better, not just Joel. I'm not gonna say like, oh, he shouldn't have did that, or the reporter shouldn't. Yeah, the other people involved, they got a part to play too.
100%. Definitely. And I think, even like, what with the one question that it does raise, and I'm actually a little happy this happened because we've been talking about this for years. Why are reporters in the locker room?
Mm.
Why are reporters in our sacred space where we have to get undressed, where I have to dry my wet body off, and they just stand there? Why do I have to be subject to that as at my job? No one else that works in the NBA is subject to someone watching them get dressed and in and out of the shower. Why am I subject to that? What is it doing? What better interview are they getting of me getting dressed, possibly in the back of somebody's video? What better interview are they getting in being in that locker room than me going to the podium and sitting there with a microphone?
Yeah,
Why must I get dressed and undressed in front of media members?
yeah, no, that's a fact. I prefer the podium by far, and they took it off for COVID and they brought it back.
And
Remember
brought
they
it back.
took it?
Why?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I'm with
so
you on that.
now you got somebody in there getting beat up. Maybe they'll change the rule because there's no reason that there is not a single place in a basketball arena that I can go and be away from everybody. Why is that?
Mm.
A single place in my job. See, guess what? Most people at their job, they can go in their office, they can close the door. We don't have a single place where we can go except for in the shower stall and have a moment to myself or just my teammates. Why is that?
Yeah, that's crazy. No, I'm with you.
So it poses that question, and but he done got beat up on a little bit.
Yeah.
I hope they stop these people from being in the locker. It's a testy in there, man.
Yeah, yeah, get
You know what I'm
crazy
saying?
in there. It get crazy in there. I'm telling you. And then you
Like,
got to think about, like, shout out to the season reporters that got a little finesse. They know how to move around. And it's good reporters, but it's also some weird ones. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
There's also some weird ones, and that was for me. I always been able to speak. I always been able to talk, and I kind of found my way around. But like someone, these kids, I got a team full of 19, 20, 21, 22-year-olds, man. They don't always know like the best way to deal with these people. You know what I'm saying? They don't always know like the right thing to say, or they don't really understand that the mic is never off, or oh yeah, I'm off the record, but I'm not really off the record, or like you said, your whole ass might be out in somebody's video while you trying you trying to get dressed. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't necessarily want to see that, you know what I mean, on the internet. But yeah, we might need to reevaluate that one.
No, that's a fact, bro.
The Emirates NBA Cup is here. You can win big getting in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's cool. Official sports betting partner of the NBA. All 30 teams split into 6 groups every Tuesday and Friday, playing for the right to advance in a single elimination in-season tourney. It was great last year, culminating in the NBA Cup Championship in Vegas. First time? Here's something special. New DraftKings customers. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Score big. Use the code Colin. So you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Please use the code Colin. New customers get $150 in bonus bets, betting just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours.
I want to talk a little bit about your journey, just through the NBA. You know, before we move into Houston Rockets, which I'm excited as hell to talk about. I think there's a lot of stuff there that a lot of people don't know that I believe about your squad, and I want to get into it a little bit. But just first want to talk about, you know, in 1 year you went from playing in the G League to being a Sixth Man of the Year candidate. As NBA players, there's a moment when the game starts to slow down. I was just doing a podcast with Fred Warner, and I was telling Fred, like, he was saying, what's the number one thing that you've learned that helps you today? And I was just telling him the game moved like this for me now. And it's just so slow. And, you know, with that game slowing down, when did you actually feel it start slowing down for you? Like, I know you went 1 year of G League and then Sixth Man of the Year candidate, but when was it that it really, really slowed down for you and you like in total control of everything?
Yeah, I would say probably like midway through my second year and then definitely my third year. Cause like that first year as a rookie, you're just trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I played maybe 20 G League games and then I played maybe like 40 regular games, you know, spot minutes here and there, blowouts in the quarters, things like that. So I was watching and learning, you know what I mean? And like I've always been a little bit more cerebral just because I've never been the fastest or like the most athletic on any team in my whole entire life since I was a little kid. So I always had to think. But once I started to get the terminology, the coverages, and really what helped me was like playing defense. So I'm like, okay, if I could figure out the defense, then I could understand how other teams defend. And then on offense, I'd be cool. And so I didn't have a skill set coming in. Like I couldn't shoot the three right away. I didn't, you know what I'm saying, had the craziest offensive game. But like I was just learning to cover, okay, 18 out of 20 teams going to push on the side. They're going to send it down. The other teams going head, you know, whatever. Everybody got their different coverages. And once I started to figure that out, offense became really easy. I was lucky to play with Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, so I didn't really have to do nothing. My jumper came along, so I was spotting up. I was spotting up. My job was to come in, pick up full court, you know, push the pace, make some open threes. Cool. Got to finish a couple games. Once I started finishing the games in the fourth, I'm like, oh, I'm cool. I'm here. You play some high pressure moments, you make some big shots. And yeah, and then it just continues to grow. So like you go from that to, you know, a bigger role. And then, you know, after that, okay, now you're the number one option on the scouting report. So now that's a whole nother layer of, you know, how teams guard you and you're getting blitzed and you're getting the best defender. And, you know, so you continue to learn that way. But I would say probably like my second year where I started putting everything together, like so I could just go out there and play. I never really had trouble with like reading the game.
Yeah. Was there ever anybody, you know, an NBA player that you would say that you were trying to pattern your game after?
Yeah, so I think CP was a big guy for me from the standpoint of like I feel like he could do everything on the court. Like he could do anything up until the point to where I think 1 year he was like guarding KD, you know what I'm saying, in the playoffs. Like I remember that series like vividly, you know what I'm saying, where they put okay, the NBA is different. You know what I mean? You would never like think of like a matchup where like the best option is just for somebody to get under them and make it tough, and all that. I remember that though.
Yeah.
But I watched, man, I had the damn ankle breaker DVDs. I watched everybody. Chauncey, J. Kidd, Steve Nash, Tony Parker, CP, Darren Williams. Like I watched all of those great 2000s point guards. And then once I got to Toronto, I just was in Kyle's hip pocket every day because I'm like, all right, I need to learn how he puts it together for the game. You know what I'm saying? And once I saw like his approach and the way that he worked every day and how he attacked every single game on a night-to-night basis, I'm like, all right, that's why I'm gonna just try to take what I can from him and add my own twist to it.
Definitely want to follow up on that. You're talking about CP. I had the opportunity to play with CP last year, man. It was, one of my favorite teammates of all time, bro. Like one of the best professionals. He had, some disdain being here last year and not playing the minutes that he's always played and like not being able to play the role he's always played. And there was never a day that you could see he had disdain. But like we lived in the same building, we built a relationship. So I knew his displeasures, but there was never a day that you could see that he wasn't happy, like, and coming into the facility and, leading and speaking to people, like helping younger guys. Like there was never a day that he didn't come in like professional and locked in. And, CP is now 19 years in, which is at 6 feet, which is crazy. What is it for you and, being similar height, and similar size and stature, what is it for you that you think you have to do along the lines of what CP is doing to extend it this long? For one, it's crazy, but at that size.
Yeah. I think one thing I always took from him was like all of the other intangibles. So if anybody know him or play with him or played against him, like he never stopped talking. Like he never stopped talking. He talked the whole game. You know what I'm saying? He's talking to the ref, he's talking to the coach, he's talking to his players, he's calling the plays out. He's talking on offense, he's talking on defense. He over here, he whispering here, he whispering there. Like he talked the whole game. And that was always something that I took. I'm like, okay, he always manipulating the game like 24/7. So I always took that. Obviously he was best point guard in the league, NBA, all-star type of caliber player, you know what I mean? So he had to model his game a little bit later, like to condense the role. For me, myself, I feel like that window is a little bit smaller. So like I'm more designed to play a role to kind of give myself more longevity. I'm on year 9. I don't know if I can even see year 19 right now. I don't know if I can see that far, to be honest with you. But like the taking care of the body, you know what I mean? I remember I went to CP's camp and I was just telling somebody this, maybe, 10 years ago, 2014, I was in college. And he was giving us a little seminar about how him and Blake Griffin did some blood tests to where they could see what food they reacted
Oh,
to.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm in college and I'm still eating like McDonald's and Popeyes and shit. So I'm like, I'm in my head, I'm like, damn, that's what it takes though. Now that I'm in this position, I'm like, okay, it's all of those small little margins, you know what I mean? That like, I might not be able to eat a donut. My knee might be hurting tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I might gotta slow down on the alcohol here and there. You know what I'm saying? It's like different things that might buy you, time. So I always paid attention to all of that. And then, like I said, basketball wise, it's like just continue to always grow and get better. And for him to go from like the pick and roll, maestro, you never lose that. But it's like finding ways to make your team better, in the meantime.
And speaking of like the guys that you look up to, and coming into this league, sometimes depending on the type of guys they are, CP is definitely this type. Have you had any run-ins with CP?
You know what's crazy? I never had a problem with CP ever. And I don't know if because I met him while I was in college. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
always had held him in a high regard, but I definitely know a few people that, you know what I mean, has run-ins with him. So I've heard stories and I've heard different things, but I can't never speak on nothing that I ain't experienced myself. But I ain't never had no problem with him. But he is like a feisty, little dirty motherfucker, man, when it come down to willing to do anything to win the game. And I respect that, you know what I'm saying? Because Kyle is a little bit like that. Like Kyle might jump and break your fucking ankle or something if you need to go get the loose ball. Like you got some of that too, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, it's certain guys that's like, when the ball is tipped, it's like anything goes, you know what I mean? We can shake hands and be friends after, but during the game, I mean, you might knock a tooth out if you got to.
And that is why we hated each other.
Yeah.
Because that is absolutely why we hated each other. But no, CP is definitely that makes complete sense. Because he knew you in college. One thing CP is he takes pride in like being a veteran leader for people and giving back to the younger guys. And so the fact that he knew you in college, he's probably always just looked at you like, dang, he was at the camp, I've helped, I'm willing to help him along, because he takes that side of things serious. Like,
no, for sure. And one thing I respect, because I know who don't do this, he at me and I'm at him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's guys that I come across that want to play buddy during the game and all that. They might duck smoke. They don't want to guard me. They don't, you know what I mean? Like it's guys that do that. It's a lot of soft guys in the league that duck smoke. But CP he always been at me from day one. So I always respected like, yeah, okay. He look at me like a little brother, but he's still going at me like anybody else, and I'm going at him like anybody else every time.
Yeah, and that's the best competition, and that's also the best sign of respect.
For sure.
When we can go at each other, and that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Man, switching gears, the all current Houston team. Like I told you, I got a lot I want to talk to you about with the team, man. It's an interesting team for sure, and I like some guys in y'all team, so I want to get into that. But before we get into that, y'all coming off a great win versus the Knicks. Would you say like that's y'all best win of the season? Is something y'all can build on, or how are y'all viewing this win?
Yeah, it's early. I would say for us, Dallas probably felt a little bit better because we had a good Dallas game last year on the road, and we gave it away in like the last minute of the game. We didn't foul up 3. They hit a shot to go to overtime. We lost. So Dallas probably felt a little more like rewarding. But the Knicks game was probably our most complete game. Like that was just good hoops. You know what I'm saying? You played a full game of hoops, team effort, everybody contribute, played good. I think we held them to 97. So, I mean, we were locked in. That was a good game. And, for us, the word all year for us is gonna be consistency. You know what I mean? Because you can bring that energy, you can bring that effort in spurts here and there, night to night, but can you put it together, you know what I'm saying, consistently? And hopefully we can build on that going forward.
Absolutely. And you ultimately going to the Rockets, this being your second year there. When you first made that decision to leave Toronto and go to the Houston Rockets, what was it for you that ultimately gave you the comfort to make the move? And could you have gone back to Toronto like once you opted out?
Yeah, I think that I just wanted to get to free agency. I think that I felt the changing of the guard. As players, you kind of get hit to what direction the organization wants to go in here and there and everywhere. There was different contracts, and it was just so much going on behind the scenes. So I just wanted to get to free agency so I can make them make a decision, you know what I mean, versus me doing it. So yeah, I could have went back. The talks didn't go, maybe exactly how I wanted them to go. And then Houston comes along. I have a conversation with Ime. I have a conversation with Stone. And that was really it. Like, that's all I needed, you know what I mean, was to have a coach tell me exactly what he needs from me, how he see, what he thinks. And I just think I was the perfect guy for the job, become like quarterback all these young, crazy dudes that they got. and give them some, structure and some leadership and direction. But I also remember playing them the years that they weren't trying to win. After every game, we always were just like, damn, they were really fast,
Yeah.
really athletic, like you couldn't catch up to them. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
I remember that it was in my mind, and then having those talks in free agency, obviously the contract. I mean, it's hard to beat that in Texas. Like that's just, I could have never imagined making $40 million a year at any point in my life. So that was hard to turn down. But really, it was a conversation with Ime that was like letting me know how he viewed it, how he saw me, and what he wanted out of me. And I just wanted to get back to having fun, playing basketball. And post championship Toronto, towards the end, we weren't really having fun. You know what I mean? It got to that point, and I was looking for just a new, fresh start, and I found it.
What has what Ime has maybe shocked you or stood out that you didn't know you'd get from him?
Man, so you know how much NBA coaches beat around the bush and protect guys' egos and don't address things, and like he's the complete opposite. But it's weird because it's only the 2.5 hours during the game. Everything else is super light. It's fun. It's a great workplace environment. Everybody enjoys coming in every day. Shoot-arounds are light. Practices are light. Everything is about the team and camaraderie and just the morale in the group and growing as a unit. I wasn't prepared for that, and so again, that goes to quality of life, quality of living as well. When you enjoy coming to work every day, you're excited to build, with the team. And that was something that caught me off guard. I wasn't ready because he's just so serious all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like you just see his face and he yelling and shit during the game and he cussing the refs out and trying to fight LeBron. All this shit is like you thinking like it's like military all the time, but he pretty cool.
Speaking about fighting LeBron, I've never heard much about that moment with him and Ime. What was it like in that moment being right there? Like, how did that all go down?
Well, the funniest thing is for us is if Ime, like he don't never raise his voice. So like if he yelling at you, it's always a mumble. Like and he don't move his face. He doesn't get animated. So like half the time you don't really even hear what he's saying. So the play was going back and forth. Brian demonstrative, getting the refs all scared and riled up and yelling at the refs and changing calls and this and that. And, he may or may not have said some words Brian ain't like. You know what I'm saying? They had a quick little debate about it, you know what I'm saying? And the ref ejected him. So it just went like that. But like we watched, you get the full story after the game and you see how it played out. But like in the game, I didn't really know what happened. I just looked over. They said a couple words to each other and he got ejected. So yeah. Everybody ain't friendly all the time, man. Everybody ain't trying to be friends in the NBA all the time. So that's all that was.
That's a fact. Do you think a part of that happening also is because Ime also played against Bron, as opposed to like, say, if it was a Steve Kerr person?
Yeah, for sure. He played against him, you know what I'm saying, in the era, and he was a scrappy, undrafted defender, tough guy, rough guy. You know what I'm saying? I know how he looking at the star player that's like, oh, you know what I mean? Like I know that mindset that you get into. So for sure, that definitely played a part in it.
Just as a veteran on this young team, this young Rockets team that you're on, when you're coming into, and what I would say is very early, like when I first say I stepped into being a vet, some super young guys was like 19, 20. And I struggled with it miserably. Like I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what it took. I just didn't understand it. And it got sprung on me faster than I knew it would, because it was just like abruptly. And coming in every single day, what are you trying to teach to the younger teammates? And ultimately, what is the conversation? As you know, some some places you go into the conversation every day, it's like, yo, winning a championship. I can't foresee that being the conversation everywhere. But like, what's that like for you and with your young team?
Yeah, I'll say first that I got lucky because I had a year, 2 years with Scotty,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that was my first impression of a top pick coming in. They're giving him everything. He don't really know like how it go. We trying to teach it to him, you know what I'm saying? And I can't say that I handled that the best, or maybe that wasn't the outcome that I wanted, for that to go. So I took some of the things I learned from that, brought it here. And the two biggest things is, number one, first of all, I have to show you every day,
Yes.
right? I'm just gonna show you by me being me on a daily basis. Watch me, you'll be all right. Number two, I'm gonna tell you the truth, and I don't really give a fuck if you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not here to like, we shouldn't always get along. But if you want to win and you want to be great and you want to get paid, you know what I'm saying? I could show you like some things that might help you in that regard. And then the third thing, which I didn't add, was like, you know, taking them off the court and just breaking bread.
This episode is sponsored by Game Time Ticketing app. The start of the NBA season is underway, and you don't want to miss the hype atmosphere watching a basketball game live.
Energy of the fans at the beginning of the season is incredible, and Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. And it filters out of the fluff to show you incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets.
I like using the Game Time app when I want to attend a concert or comedy show. Game Time Ticketing app is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. I really like the all-in pricing because it shows how much I'm going to have to pay.
I'm looking at the Game Time app right now, and it's easy to find different tickets and different price points. The NBA season is beginning, and I know your favorite team is going to need your support.
Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code GREEN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code GREEN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. Me and the champ been chopping it up, and look who the wind and blew in. BD is here. Welcome, my brother.
What's up, man? I apologize, man, to the legends, to the champ, Fred. Apologize to my big dog, my host. I was out, you know, trying to be amongst the people, get my vote on, be in line, you know. But I do gotta say, being on this damn podcast, man, everybody coming up to me want to take a picture, want to talk. It's Draymond. Who are you voting for? I'm like, man, there's too many questions. You know what I mean? There's too many questions in the voting line. But I apologize, fellas. Hey, and damn, you know, I'm sorry because Fred, you know, you my guy, man. You one of my all-time favorite point guards. Man, I used to, from the time you got in the league, I was like, yo, who is this dude out here wiggling on people like that? So the man with the wiggle, the game, you know, you got all the stuff in the Rockets, you know, they my pick to have a big year. And I think you guys already have, you know, you off to a solid start versus Dallas, versus Memphis. You know, how did y'all make things difficult more so for great players like Ja, or when you playing against Luka? Like, what's y'all energy around that?
Yeah. I mean, we got a lot of young, hungry guys. Like, and I would say that I've been around some guys in the league. I think we all have that don't really love it, that just, you know, love will come with it. But I would say we got a lot of guys that really love the game, that they get up for the big names. You know what I'm saying? They want to prove themselves well. And we got good defenders. We got our man Thompson, and Tari, Eason. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how Dillon bring it every night. So it's like we got bodies that really take pride in that end of the floor. So when they see a big name come in, you know, no matter who it is, they get up for the game for sure.
To piggyback off that, man, I absolutely love Tari Eason game. It's like every time I play against him, I come out the games just raving about his energy and, you know, like the motor that he has. We playing y'all last week. We were up 30 points, and his energy changed the entire game. What is it that what is it that's keeping him off the floor? Like, oh no, I wouldn't even ask it that way. What does he have to do more of to get more minutes on the floor? Because I feel like for me, I don't understand why he's not on the floor more for that team. I think y'all team is much tougher to play against when Tari Eason's on the floor, in my opinion. And I felt that way since he was a rookie.
For sure. No, I think to answer the question first would be last year he did have a serious injury, you know what I'm saying, that he missed a ton of time for. They were trying to figure out, you know, the best way to manage it and things like that. So there has been, you know, I'm saying the same thing because we playing pickup in the fall before the season, and they keep putting him on my team, and he can only play 2 minutes at a time and 5 minutes at a time. And when he's on my team, we go up 10. As soon as you take him out, we go down 10. I'm cussing the coaches out saying, why can't he be on the floor? So I'm with you. You know what I mean? So,
right.
But there has been a ramp up process for him. You know what I'm saying? Just managing the situation that he had last year. Had a major situation on his leg last year. So I think they've been managing that. But I think that he'll continue to grow on that. And then for me, I'm always just trying to develop his mind to go with the fire and the passion. I think that's one thing that make you great, Dre, is like you still got the IQ to go with the crazy shit. So it's like you got all the crazy shit, but like you still really got the IQ too. So like for him, I just want him to keep developing that part because I never seen nobody bring a team back from 30 down by itself just off the hustle. Like just really taking the ball, one hand, taking the ball, block a shot, dunk it, shoot a three, rip them again, come down like it looked like AAU. Like I never really seen that, you know what I mean? And he's just really doing all that off the muscle. So like the more he continued to develop the IQ and learn the game, like he got a real special future for sure.
Yeah, another player everybody got their eyes on this season is Reed Sheppard.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he a top pick, but you know, he getting comparisons to, you know, NBA point guards, and you know, more so Steph Curry, which I don't compare nobody. We don't compare one-on-one.
Stop it.
He a mold.
That's blasphemous. Stop it.
That's what I said, bro. That's what I said.
It's blasphemous right now, BD. Stop
and it's blasphemous. We don't want to go that route, but like talk about his game. Like what impresses you? I wouldn't compare him to Steph Curry. I would just kind of compare him to, you know, a mold. Right. You know what I mean? Not so much like, you know, people. Come on, Dre, man. I didn't say it. The people said it.
Nah.
The people said it, bro.
I'm having a good day, BD.
Reed tough, man. Reed tough, man. I don't know if I would have looked at him and never said Steph either. You know what I'm saying? But I will say, like, he tough. Like to come in with that skill set at that age, to shoot the ball like that. He's sharp. He's smart. He's tough. Sneaky, athletic. You know, he'll continue to grow and get comfortable out there. He had a great preseason, and then the first couple games, you could tell, you know, he was trying to get his legs under him. So he's got a real bright future. I'm glad that I get him, you know, as a rookie for me as a point guard. Like,
yeah, I was gonna ask that. You know what I mean? Because I remember when I hoop, you know, you always gravitate to the young energy. You know what I mean? Are y'all trading?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are you picking up?
He came first day like, yo, teach me everything you know. You know what I'm saying? And like the biggest thing for me is like, I'll tell you whatever you want to know, but I ain't gonna chase you down. You know what I'm saying? So like having him just open mind, a sponge, he want to learn, and he's way farther ahead, you know what I'm saying, at 20 than I was. So like I'm just excited to give him the gems and things that I picked up along the way to give it to him so, you know, he can run with it.
I like him a lot too. I think one of the interesting things is, and what I like about him is, you see him and you like, oh, I'm going at him. And he check. He can check.
He ain't no stiff, man. He ain't no stiff.
He can check.
He can move his feet. He got good hands. You know, he gonna continue to learn the NBA game a little bit. But yeah, I'm trying to give him a little bit. We just got to get him some more Houston life. You know what I'm saying? Let him hang out with the guys a little bit. He'll pick up some of that, and he'll make his mark. But shoot the shit out the ball. He's gonna be one of those super efficient point guards. Gonna be a tough cover on a night-to-night basis, and I love everything about him. It's professional, dead serious every day, just super professional, dead serious. He ain't got too much funnies with him. And Steven Adams grabbed him up. They keep wearing the same mustache now, so hopefully he pick up some of Steven Adams' little crazy stuff. That's too. That'll be good for him.
Exactly.
I like that because you get to bring him along, right, as a young rookie point guard, but then you get to also show him the ism. You know what I mean? It's like, this how you get busy. Is that like extra motivation for you? You know what I mean? Coming into this year, like, I got a young dog. If I'm giving him all this game, I gotta go show him how to. You know what I mean?
And I was just telling Dre that, like, I it's easy to tell you, but like, I got to show you too. You know what I'm saying? This 24/7 around the clock. Just pull up and, you know what I'm saying, get your notebook out. Like, this is all day long. This ain't just on the court. This ain't just practice on the plane. This on the bus. This how I deal with the staff. This how I deal with this. This how I deal with this. You know what I mean? We'll get to the personal life. You know, he come from a great family, so he should be solid there. But like, it's all day long. You know what I'm saying? Classes and sessions. So I'm just glad to have him right there with me, and I'm excited to see like how he gonna pan out.
I would say one of the guys both of us are excited about seeing this year is Jalen Green. Like, I think BD and myself both agree that we think he's gonna have a big year. And I think my question to you would be, how have you seen his, in your 2 years now, how have you seen his approach change?
I think he's just growing up, like, naturally. Like, life would do that to you. You know what I'm saying? You have a baby, it's time to sit down. It's time to tighten up. It's time to focus on what's important. You know what I mean? You got a child now, like, contract coming up. Tighten up, bro. Like, but at the end of the day, I will give him the ultimate credit. I didn't see the crazy Jalen that I heard about. You know what I'm saying? From the moment I got there, he was on point. He's in the lab every day. He worked, he lived, he work on this game. Everybody like to, have a good time. I know I do. You know what I mean? So
absolutely, me too. Count me in.
You got to, bro. What's the point?
What's the point? You know what I'm saying? I ain't one of them that act like I don't like to have a good time, but
exactly,
his approach is good. He tried to do everything the coaches asked of him, and you could just see like layers. Like, halfway through the season last year, I'm like, all right, look, they going at you, bro. Like, you gotta take that personal. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be no pick on guy, and you could guard. Like, I'm playing you in practice. You can guard, bro. Boom. He started taking that personal. Now he got like one of the best ISO number to cover, defensive stats on the team, like things like that. And he started developing whatever work he did this summer to come back with the pace and the balance and the three to be able to put it together. Like you talked about the game slowing down for him. We're starting to see it translate. And I think that all just happened. You can't like pinpoint when a guy is when it's gonna click for him. But I think it's starting to click for him. And I just try to give him the confidence and the space to like be himself.
Man, that's amazing, bro. I think I got a question for both of y'all, because it's like, y'all veterans now. You know what I mean? And like, talk about like the beauty of, Dre, you done had Kuminga for what, 3 years, Moody for 3 years, right? How to like, it's almost like programming somebody. You know what I mean? It's like programming, like, setting different challenges. How does that feel? I say for both of y'all, like, I would say when I was in that, I didn't embrace that. You know what I mean? Because I was worried about going out. And Dre, you talked about like how you embracing that. Fred, you talking about just giving all the wisdom and the isms to the players. I want both of y'all to just talk about like how fun it is to like be re-energized through, kind of teaching and grooming that next generation.
Yeah, no, it's something that I really enjoy, man. It always takes me back to my rookie year. Assistant coach of ours, Pete Myers, who BD, you know.
Yep.
Pete Myers was our assistant coach, and he told me, he said, yo, I'm going to tell you two things that I want you to keep with you for the rest of your career. He said, number one, you owe it to the guys that come before you, that come after you, to lead the game in a better space than you found it. He said, number two was you get paid for the next young guy to get paid. That's how this thing keep going. You get paid for the next young guy to get paid. And when he told me that, it was one of those OG-isms where, like, it's a gym and that's some free game. Now figure out what you do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, now it's on you to figure out what that means. And for me, I've always taken that personal because that's what I was taught. You know what I'm saying? I went to Michigan State, where Mateen Cleaves and Travis Walton taught me what OGs do for their young fellas. You know what I'm saying? That all the guys that came before me, they taught me, like, nah, this is what you do, and you do X, Y, and Z, and this is how you take care of and bring the young fellas along. And that's how they brought me along. And so for me, I always try to get that back. And with Moses and JK, like, Moses and my relationship hit it off like that right away, immediately, book it, stamp, quick. JK, it took over a year, you know what I'm saying, for me to gain his trust. Because the one thing with JK is, if he don't trust you, you ain't getting nothing from him. He's just gonna be like, okay. And that's kind of it. Like, he ain't giving you much either way. Ain't giving you much good. Ain't giving you. He's just like, okay. And what I learned, and shout out to Anthony Vereen, one of our assistant coaches, he helped me figure out, yo, you have to, like, spend some time with him and build a relationship with him. Then he'll listen to you. But if you just think you're going to say some stuff to him, he ain't going to listen. I'm just telling you. And I took it up on myself to then start building a relationship with JK. And once I start building a relationship with JK, that kid will run through this brick wall. I have no doubt in my mind he will run through this wall for me. But he also know that I'll run through that wall for him.
Bingo.
And so just in guiding those guys, I love it, though, because you get like this blank canvas. And as an artist, the way I view it is, you just gave me an all-white blank canvas. And now I just get to paint on this canvas and watch it turn into a masterpiece, and just sit back like this proud artist that's like, wow, I just watched him work to be like, go from here to there. Moses Moody just got paid $40 million. Like, wow, I'm seeing the young fella get paid. JK about to make $140, $150 million. Wow, like, watching them grow into that, man, it's special. So I embrace that. And Moses was sitting in my room last night till 4 o'clock in the morning. We sitting here talking, me checking in on him, making sure he good. Like, you know what I'm saying? You still ain't currently playing the minutes that you want to be playing. How you feeling about that? You know what I'm saying? Talk to me. Like, how you feeling about everything? Like, you got your contract. All right, that's cool. But what's next now? Like, we was talking about family offices and financial advisors and investments, like, till 4 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So I really embrace that side of things. And like I said, for me, it stems from Michigan State. Like, all my young fellas, Jaren Jackson, Xavier Tillman, all them young guys, I still talk to them. I talked to X on the phone 2 days ago for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. These same I still talk to all them young fellas. Like, through the year, Miles Bridges hit me up telling me to stop tweeting about Grant Williams. They stopped to leave him alone. Said, Miles, no, he a clown. Miles, like, you on the court fighting people, and you gonna be the one to tweet about this? I'm like, Miles, yeah, guess what, though?
It's a
I
purpose
ain't hit
to
you,
it.
Miles. I said, I ain't hit you, Miles. You know why I ain't hit you? Because you my young fella. This man out there taking out, he's like, you done, because he said, you hard fouled me before. I said, Miles, I hard fouled you when you was about to dunk on me at the rim. I didn't come up from behind you and take you out. Like
That's crazy.
That was wild.
That's a different type of thing.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And
That
so,
was wild.
yeah, you know, so I still stay in touch with all of them young fellas, man. Denzel Valentine, Europe. I'm on DMs and all that with Denzel once or twice a week. Like, I stay in touch with all those guys because that means a lot to me. And when you see them succeed, Moses Moody just got paid. I got paid. Like, that's how I feel. Like, man, like, he playing well, I played well. Like, that's how I feel in seeing the young guys grow and elevate.
Yeah.
So I got the same game. From Kyle. I think maybe he got it from Chauncey or, you know, whoever, T. Lou and them guys. Like, you know, it's about passing it on to the next generation. And like, one thing I always took from that is like, it ain't my game to give, it's ours. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't, this game don't belong to any of us. It belongs to all of us. You know what I mean? And you be good to it, it's gonna be good to you. So it's like, I would be a clown if I didn't pass it on to someone else the same way it was passed on to me. And just specifically with this Houston team, my initial thing was like, we had two rookies, Amen Thompson and Cam Whitmore, who hadn't played yet. And then we had all the other guys who were there for the 3 years of 17 wins, 19 wins, and 22 wins. And then you realize, like, oh, y'all was just doing shit. Y'all was just hooping. Like, y'all really was playing AAU for 3 years. Y'all don't even know what the real NBA is. So how do I give you this message and give you this game? Because you probably not gonna see the results right away. So like,
right.
Me and Jalen, it took a little minute because it's like everything I'm telling him, it's not working. He not seeing the immediate, you know what I'm saying, response. And then it took a little bit, you know, for them to get adjusted to Ime as well. But I think my whole thing was like, you might not like me all the time, but you're gonna love me though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like at the end of the day, when I don't know what everybody got going on in their life, but when you go home and you lay down that night, you're gonna know, like, all right, Fred telling me the real.
Fred a real one.
Yeah, he gonna tell me the real, regardless. And if we got knuckle up, then we just gotta knuckle up, man. It ain't the worst thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? I come from that. I come from, like, you know what I'm saying, having to stand on certain things at certain times. Like, that's just what it is. But if we serious about, like, I really care about you, and I love you, I got love for you, and I'm trying to help you, I gotta give you the real. I got to. And hopefully you receive it that way. It don't always go that way. Everybody different, but for the most part, I think early on it took a little bit of like adjustment period, and then as the season went on, fast forward to this season, and everything's starting to make sense. And like, some things, you know, it gets greater later. You know what I mean? Some things might not get you right away, but down the line you would be like, okay, now it's making sense now. Man, you did tell me that. That's all I be wanting. Like, you was right. You was right. And I ain't trying to be right. I want us to be right. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be right. It ain't about me. I want us to be right. And Jalen signing the deal this year, Sengun signing the deal this year. You know what I mean? I know what that's like to have that uncertainty, even more so than them, because I really had to earn mine. You know what I mean? Like, I really could have been out the league. I really could have not had an NBA career. It was that close for me. So to see them secure that bag was a special moment for me, because I know what they put into it. And, you know, I know that they trusted me a lot with whatever it is that I was telling them, and they was hungry and they listened.
I'll warn you, be careful of thinking you can knuck up with the young fellas, man. It ain't the same like it used to be. And I learned that the hard way.
I ain't trying to get in no trouble. I don't want no static with nobody. All I'm saying is, if it go there, it go there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go there.
Nope, you don't want it to go there, brother. I'm telling you, I learned this the hard way. Yeah. I thought things could go there, and I learned the hard way. And I spent last night's game getting bullied because of it. So I'm just telling you, we played the Wizards last night, and I spent the whole game getting bullied.
Hey, bro, you was getting bullied. Hey,
I was getting bullied.
Bro, they was picking on my dog. I didn't like that.
Bro,
But you did trigger them. You did trigger them.
No. First off, the two young fellas, Tari, Bub, and Keyshawn Jordan, they start talking to me. I'm literally sitting there asking them like, "Yo, y'all talk?" They like, "Yeah, it's what we on." I said, "Oh, cool, we can talk then. All right, let's go." I was excited as hell. So we talking.
They
weren't bullied. I was getting bullied.
You got hit with the TMZ angle though, Dre. You know what I'm saying? It would have happened behind closed doors. You might have been all right.
Yeah, it's crazy. You got TMZ. They cooked me.
You got hit with the eye in the sky, dog. That's
it's crazy.
They got you red-handed, dog. That was all.
They crushed me. They crushed me. I spent last night getting bullied because of it, man. And I went into that game just thinking I'm going to play a basketball game. Man, dude came out there wanting to bully me. Man, I don't want no problems.
Yeah, you got.
I don't want no issues.
Come on,
man.
Chill on it. Hey, y'all young dog, y'all gotta chill on the OGs, bro.
I don't want no issues, man. I had a good time last night. It was fun.
I mean, but you did trigger. You did set it off with the point. You know what you did.
Well, no. Well, all right. So.
Well, yeah. Hey, bro. Hey, come on, Fred. You in the game, somebody hit a three, and the dude just, why are you pointing at, like, bro, why you keep pointing at me?
So here's the issue. All right, so here's the problem. So the first time I catch the ball on the post, and if George smashed up on me, he overzealously is like, like, and they call a foul, and I could feel that it was like more to the pushes. He like, and I could feel, and so they called a foul, and I just tapped him on the chest, like, hey, it's cool, bro, like, yeah, that was cool, it's cool, like, tap on the chest, bro, like, we going. So then, as the game keep going on, you know how you can see a look in somebody's eye when you like, he like. And so, and he's like talking to me, like he's saying little stuff to me. And so I ain't paying it no mind. Yeah, I ain't paying it no mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm just chilling. I'm like, oh, he on that type of time. That's crazy. Because last year he ain't say a word. So I'm thinking to myself, like, I ain't coming in the game.
Oh, yeah, he ain't gonna say nothing. It's gonna be cool.
He ain't say nothing. Like last year, he ain't say nothing. Moving on. And he was talking. And so I was like, oh, that's interesting. So then fast forward to the play. They run that's called Horns Twist. They run the guard ball screen. He go off the flare. Our man get whacked with the flare. Me being the defensive guy that I am, I'm gonna make a last ditch effort and try to get a contest. You know what I'm saying? I make the last ditch effort to get a contest. He pointed at me. And I'm like, my man just pointed at me like I was guarding him, bro. I just tried to get a late contest. Like,
oh, he pointed at you first.
Yeah, he pointed at me after he hit the shot as if like he broke me off and like hit the shot, bro. I'm getting a late contest. Ain't even my man. I'm doing more, by the way. On Stackhouse grading, defensive grades, I'm going to get an extra point for that late contest that wasn't even supposed to be my contest. So, you know what I'm saying? I go for the late contest. He pointed at me like he just dropped me off. So, you know, everybody on my Twitter, like Draymond point, Steph hit the three. Well, it's actually the same exact thing because then he went and got a contest that wasn't his contest. And he got his eye bang, and I pointed back at him. And so now I'm like, oh, that was interesting coming out of halftime. This is going to be fun. You know what I'm saying? And it went from there. He bullied me the rest of the night like he was bullying me the whole first half, but it was cool. I had fun.
Did you say anything when you pointed? You should have pointed and said, see, that could have been you. That'd have done him off. He'd have had 4 in the second half.
Bro, listen, man. I'll tell you what. I got nothing against that brother. I was not trying to talk trash to him. I was just pointing back because he pointed at me. And for all the dummies on Twitter and Instagram that's like, well, that ain't the same thing because Draymond didn't make the shot. It's the same exact thing because we both contested a shot on a man
It's
that
all in the
wasn't our
spirit
man.
of the game, baby.
Exactly. So take that, you dummies that can't identify what's actually happening in the game and can only see what proves my point and what I always say. What can you see? You can see who made the shot and who missed the shot. That is about the level of your basketball intelligence. Don't write me on Instagram and Twitter trying to explain a basketball play. You
today,
stupid.
Huh?
Like, no, you look dumb and you just lose respect. I'm sitting here last night with Moses Moody, and Trav starts talking about the play, and Moses right out the blue goes, well, the situations were the same. Of course they were, Moses, but these dummies on my Instagram don't know this.
Get on them.
So,
yeah,
you know, I'm off them.
Y'all done got them started now, man. Look at it.
Man, he done got. Hey, please drop a comment and drop a green. Please drop a comment.
But moving on from him, I got a question. I got a question for you, Freddie V. You're in the second year of a 3-year deal, and you recently said, I didn't come to the Rockets to be a rental. What about Houston made it for you? And, you know, going there, but then obviously being there, what is it that's made you view it as a long-term spot for you, for someone that already has a home? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people always say a lot of people don't get a home in the NBA.
Right.
Like, you have a home. What is it for you that make you say, no, this can also be my second home?
Yeah, I think, like I said, the talks that we had before me coming here, right, was like not one that was specifically targeting like, all right, these first 2 years or these first 3 years. It was more so like a big picture. This is how we see it. You know what I mean? This is the timeline for the young guys, blah, blah, blah. And then living here, you know, just being here in Houston, you know what I'm saying, which is already one of my favorite places to visit. You know, I've grown to love living here, and great place to raise a family, and my kids are in school. We have other family here that was already here. We've had family move here. So it's definitely one of those places we feel like, you know what I mean, we could stay. Obviously, business is business. Things can change. Everything is fluid. But I didn't come here thinking like I'm gonna just come here for 2 years, get a bag, and then jump to the next team. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty vested in like the timeline and the journey with these guys, and you know, as long as they'll have me, I'll be here. You know what I'm saying? As long as it makes sense. But I think that all I'm focused on is trying to speed this learning curve up for these guys, because it could take a long time, or it could take a little time. It just depends on how fast it clicks for everybody, how fast we can put it together. So I think the more that we just stay foot on the gas, you know what I mean, and we crack the playoffs and we make some noise, and you know what I'm saying, start focusing on like winning a playoff series, and then like it's steps to everything. I think that will kind of create the situation out of itself. But I love being here for sure.
That's amazing. That's amazing, man.
That's
I think with those young guys, you got a second half against us that's a prime example. Hey, man, the likelihood that we're going to go on the court and be the smartest team right now is probably slim to none, because we're usually the youngest team when we go on the court. So if you think you're just going to go on the court and be smarter than a team full of vets, we're probably wrong. But what we can do is how we outplayed them in the second half with our energy and effort. Because we are young, we can always probably out-energy teams.
Yeah.
So let's make that a calling card.
Yeah.
And while we work on the cerebral part of it, let our calling card be when somebody walk through that door, they know how hard we're going to play. They know how we coming at it, and then build from there. Because when you got the youth on your side, use it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know
and that's really all we've been
that.
doing. Like, you know, like, because I've been on the other side, you know what I mean, on the championship team or an older team that's like, you know, coming into a game, like, all right, we got, you know what I mean, you got to be ready for that, because they running, you know what I'm saying? They might take you, you just hope you keep it close and you try to outsmart them in the fourth quarter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how. So now I'm on the flip side of it, where it's like, I'm trying to make sure they know how hard we got to go, and then everybody calm down in the winning time, you know what I mean? You still got to execute down the stretch. So that's been a fun challenge for me. But like I said, I love what we got. I think we're in a great position, you know, for the future of kind of like where the league is and where the West is going. I like our group a lot.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I like y'all team too, man. You know what I mean? I'm picking y'all to be a big surprise. And you know we got to talk about the championship Raptors run. Sorry about that, Dre.
That's
No,
bullshit.
you don't want to hear it.
The show was great without it.
Kawhi hit the big shot against Philly, but y'all, you know, that was a run. I want to really talk about the run. You know what I mean? Obviously, Kawhi with the 7 bounces on the rim. What was that like? But then coming into the finals, you know what I mean? Like, shit, y'all was balling. You balled,
that was like,
Kyle balled.
Man, bro, that was like the highest level of hoops that you can get. You know what I mean? And I think that Kawhi was obviously the superstar, but like it was such a well-balanced team that it was so many guys playing at a high level. And outside of, we lost game 1 against Orlando, but we knew we was gonna beat them. And then the Philly series was a tough one because like that really could have went either way just because of the team. It was like the perfect matchup for us. And then once we got to Milwaukee, we felt good. And then once KD was hurt, we felt good. You know what I'm saying, about the finals. So it's like, you got to see it in stage. I didn't realize like it's 2.5 months. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand that because you always lose and you done. But like when you keep going, it's April 15th to June 15th. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then after a while, once it picks up, it's every other day. Which is crazy because early on you get days off, and then second, third round, it's every other day, travel, whatever, you know what I mean? People have injuries. Like I remember Kyle was getting like injections in his hand before every game, like crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? People was dealing with all types of you're just survival of the fittest, you know, and I think that's where our depth came into play at. And then just to, you know, like to be able to talk about something and shoot around and have it translate to the game, like being that locked in, being able to put a fucking boxing 1 in at the game 1 of the finals that we never worked on before. You know what I'm saying? Like just the level of like focus that we had with that veteran team. That's what I always remember the most. You know what I mean? Outside of the big moments was like just how locked in that we were as a group, every guy to a T. And we was only playing, you know, 8 guys really, for the most part, but it was a solid 8 rotation.
Yes, it was. And getting Marc Gasol at that buyout deadline.
Yeah.
It was down to y'all and us.
Yeah.
Marc Gasol, you fucked us.
Marc Gasol.
We got him.
You're supposed to keep that championship in the bay.
We got him the last minute of the deadline. I think they traded that motherfucker like 259 or something crazy. Like I remember we had to play Atlanta with like 7 guys because we traded like 5 guys in the last minute of the deadline. It was crazy.
That was a hell of a trade.
Yes,
man.
it was.
No Paia for you in the Bay Area, Marc Gasol.
At all. You get no love, Marc.
Shout out to Marc, man. One of my favorite.
You went and linked up with Fred and Kawhi. And y'all came, we won cool. I was at that game too.
One of my favorite teammates, man. Great dude.
Ain't no love for you, Marc. No, I got a lot of love for Marc, though, man. Marc was a great player. He was fun.
He's a
competitor
legend,
to play
man.
against. Marc Gasol was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked y'all team because everybody was, like you said, everybody had basketball intelligence. You know what I mean? And everybody had little nuances, and you know, implementing somebody like that is, you know, it's like having a brainchild. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like in the middle of the court, you know, allowing y'all to operate. But, you know, that was one of my favorite squads. I like what y'all doing in Houston, man. You know, you one of my favorites, just period, just to see how you just rose to your own, you know what I mean? Your own artistry. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I respect, like, you created, this is my one-on-one painting. This is, when you say my name, you know what you see.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Real shit. I appreciate that, bro. I remember you put me to the side in UCLA, bro, in the summertime. Like, gave me the love. That shit go a long way. Like I remember every single guy that I watched growing up that ever gave me love and boosted me, and that's something that I try to do. You know what I'm saying, to guys that I fuck with their game too. Like now, because you never know how somebody look at you. Like I could kick it with you all day. You know what I'm saying, and not tell you like. I was in the airport when you dunked and ripped the jersey up. I was watching that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was watching, like I remember exactly where I was when that happened. You know what I'm saying? Fast forward, like I always, now that I'm getting older, you know, them full circle moments, that shit been meaning the most to me.
Too big.
Yeah.
Stomach too big now, dog. These fucking tacos.
You had on a girdle that day. Goddamn shapewear.
I was trying to get an endorsement deal. Shit.
Skims.
Wasn't no Skims back then. They should sign me and put shit. Redo the commercial. What's up, Skims?
Well, makes it happen. Oh, man.
And Draymond be going at him, and Steven Adams be doing all kind of shenanigans.
Me and Steven Adams don't really get into it much, man. I think there's a mutual respect.
Didn't you kick my man's in the nuts, man?
Listen, number one, I was selling a car. I was selling a car. I got it.
You kicked my dog in the nuts, man. Come on with that shit. Come on with that shit,
I didn't really try to. You know, I'm selling the car. Let it go. Oh.
Yeah, they changed the rule. They changed the rule because.
Hey, bro, that's sick.
Yeah, and I get kicked all the time, and the rule never is acted on when I get kicked. I get kicked all the time, and they be like, well, common foul. Yeah. I know there's a rule. It's created for me.
I seen that one. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that was crazy.
How is it having Steven Adams and Dillon Brooks as a teammate? You know, I've had my fair share of words with Dillon Brooks. About Dillon Brooks. But the reality is, I think, you know, I'm not a fan of his, but I give credit where credit is due.
I'm a fan of Dillon Brooks.
All right, so you got one fan. I'm not necessarily a fan of his.
He be on bullshit from the time the game start.
Any team that he's on, he raises the level, and I respect that.
Steven, first, I would say just the ultimate guy, just like the ultimate guy you want on your team. Just he just do it all, bro. Like he calms the locker room. He's just a presence. He's strong as hell. He on this carnivore diet right now. He might eat 2 ribeyes for breakfast and a 44-ounce porterhouse on the plane. Like Aquaman, no size.
That's real Aquaman. Hey, like a real Aquaman.
Hey, like no size, no nothing. Like just straight steak. You know what I'm saying? Like he just different, bro. Yeah, like he's a real live caveman, bro. Like he just different and super strong but super smart. Really just a selfless guy, all about the team, great screener, great vet just to have, you know what I'm saying? And like you going into an alley fight, you want a Steven Adams on your side, you know what I'm saying? For whatever the situation brings. Like I've loved having him around. Dillon, I was not a fan of before we were teammates. I always respected him because I would say that I play hard every night. I take a lot of pride in bringing it every night. And whatever I got is what you're going to get. Now, it might not always be a lot. It might not always be great, but I'm going to give you everything I got no matter what. Like, I ain't taking no nights off. And Dillon was always one of those guys that I watched on a night-to-night basis. Like, he don't take nights off. Being his teammate, you get to see the switch turn on and off because it's just on the court. Off the court, it's nothing crazy, you know what I'm saying, outside of like just showing up for the game. But to BD point, like he really on bullshit every game. Like it's no picks.
Come on.
Like he ain't got no picks, and like he gonna take you there. Like he gonna take you there every time, every night, no matter who it is. Like he came out the first preseason game last year because they had the FIBA joint. He came out the first 2 minutes of the game, hit somebody in the nuts, boom. come to find out, they had a beef from FIBA.
The FIBA beefs be real, bro.
He had a beef, Canada versus who was it? Germany, maybe. Tice.
Bro, what's up?
Yeah.
Why are
Germany.
we hitting people in the nuts?
First couple minutes of the game, he hit him in the nuts. You know, I'm arguing with the refs. I'm like, no, he ain't do it. You know, man, they saw that shit on the jumbotron. He bow. We look at him like, yo,
that's sick, dude.
what the fuck is wrong with you?
He should be arrested.
Like, yo,
he should go to jail for that.
Dog, it was crazy.
Hey, bro, you should go to jail.
But it was.
You should go to jail, dude. Hey, dude. Come on, dude. You gonna hit me in my nuts in the game?
Yo,
bro. Officer, take this man to jail.
It was crazy, dog.
An intentional nut punch is diabolical.
No, he on it, man. He on it every night.
Hey, dog, I love that he on bullshit.
He ain't got no picks.
I want him to keep going, though. I want him to sit at home and come up with scripts and all kind of shit that he gonna say. Like, I want him to go all the way there.
No. I'm slowing him down, BD. I'm trying to taper him off, though.
But I think it helped his game too.
No,
I think he play better and he free when he has that mentality. I watched them when they played the Lakers with Memphis, and I watched him have this persona. You know what I mean? Going into the playoffs, and then when the media and the Lakers and whatever he said about LeBron, like he backed out. Bro, you don't back out.
Yeah, but
bro, you go crazy.
A lot of that.
He was young.
A lot of that come from the situation he was in too. Like, wasn't nobody standing up behind him either.
Wasn't nobody backing him up.
Wasn't nobody standing up behind him.
Didn't nobody have it? Yeah,
right. So
they did not have his back.
So my thing is, because I get the flack. Like, trust me, I get it. They come straight to me. Your man, tell your man. You know what I'm saying? And I get both sides. I'm like, shit, y'all tell him. You know what I'm saying? Like, long as we on this court, I ain't gonna let nothing happen to him. You know what I'm saying? And if he with me, he with me. You know what I mean? We gonna fight.
That's how it's gonna go.
And at the same time, I'm telling him, like, all right, maybe play it like this, maybe do it like this. Like, all right, maybe don't go all the way there unless you're really ready to go all the way there. Like, certain things I'm trying to help him with.
He needs some grooming. He needs some grooming. Personality, brand grooming.
Yeah,
that's all.
I'm just trying to taper it down a little bit, keep bringing it on the court, and then we're going to handle it a little bit differently, because when I come out the game and the whole opposing team is waiting for me in the hallway, telling me they looking for my man, now I got to figure out how to...
Man, that's tough, bro. Oh, yeah.
I got to...
Hey, dog, I got to... I played in Cleveland for like the last half of the year, and I played with Ryan Hollins. And Ryan Hollins is a good dude.
Yeah.
But he be hacking people.
Yes,
He just, he athletic. He just be hacking. And bro, him and Charlie Villanueva got into it. You gotta pull this up on YouTube.
I remember, I seen that before.
Boom, he popped Charlie with one. Charlie started chasing him on the court and shit. I'm like, Ryan, yo, chill. Stop antagonizing. They sent Ryan to the locker room. In Detroit, they sent Charlie to the locker room. They about to inbound the ball. He take off. Woo! Be life around the locker room. Hey, bro, Ryan Hollins fouled Dwayne Wade, and D Wade was gonna fuck him up. And I was like, D Wade, man, why you gonna do that, bro? He gonna fuck you up every time you come in here, bro. Tonight ain't the night for you to be going to the hole tonight. Cause my dog right there, he gonna fuck you up.
That's hilarious, man. That's hilarious. Hey, Fred, so tell me this though. You was about to say, when you see the video, how do y'all ultimately find out that this is not for right now? This is for something he did when he was in Canada.
Because when I come to the locker room at halftime, I say, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like, yo, what are you doing? Like, yo, you gotta give us a rundown. Like, what's going on? This is how we talk. Like, this is how we talk. Yo, what's up? Oh, nah, some FIBA shit, dog. Like, huh? FIBA?
I get it.
What?
Dillon Brooks.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? We're like, we're not. Mind you, we haven't played like we. I'm so damn dumb. I'm thinking like, we finally got our starting lineup. We got to get our rhythm. We got to figure out who's gonna play. Woo, woo. This fool is like, nah, I gotta get my get back.
I get it. I get it. You know why?
He should be arrested for hitting people in the nuts, though.
There's I love the French people as a whole.
Yeah.
But playing against France.
Here we go.
You gonna choke? You gonna choke somebody else out?
France it created a disdain, and playing them in the Olympics, it created a disdain for some guys. Like, so I you know what? I may understand Dillon a little more than I thought.
Hey, Draymond, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you choke Victor, your ass, they gonna get your ass out of here, boy. You better.
I ain't choking Victor.
Hey, he can't get up. He gotta jump.
I ain't touching Victor. I ain't blowing Victor. I'm not blowing breath on Victor.
Yeah, nah.
I'm not putting a pinky finger on Victor. I'm not pushing Victor. Bro. I'm going to play defense on Victor, and I may give up a dunk. I don't want no smoke, man. I don't want none of that smoke, brother.
Stay away from him.
Cool.
No, they're going to have Secret Service outside of your ass, baby.
I don't want no smoke. And also, you know what? That may have been God. Why I ain't playing the Olympics this year. I ain't played with Victor in the Olympics. I got no disdain with Wemby.
Oh, you ain't got no beef. Yeah, you ain't got no beef with him.
I ain't playing him in the Olympics. Nope. Zero disdain.
We turned over a new leaf. The Draymond Green Show, no beef. We ain't got
therapy
no problems, man.
Therapy.
You know, you get old. Hey, bro, you get older, and you know them young dudes. They've been watching. I had to tell my homeboy. I'm like, man, you can't keep just punking people in the gym. It's a young dude that was like you, and you don't know him. So you know that's gonna be our pack. We gonna cultivate these young dudes because we don't know how strong they are. We don't know where they come. You know what I mean? Oh, you call foul? I'll be in the pickup. Oh, it's cool. It's cool. Good job.
Bro. I don't want no smoke, man. I don't want no smoke. I'm out.
That's me in pickup, friend. Oh, you cool? Okay, cool.
Yeah, you got it.
No arguing.
Man, last one before we get out of here. Fred, you being one of the best undrafted players of all time, all-star champion. You got a list of 5 undrafted guys, your top 5 undrafted guys before we get out here. I always love a good list.
Damn. I think I try to put the careers together, you know. You talking about careers, like, got to go Ben Wallace. Gotta go.
Body, absolutely.
John Starks. Gotta go.
Wow.
Damn. I just had the list. Hold on. It's another one. Somebody that I always forget. This I always forget UD.
Ah, yeah.
I always forget
UD.
And UD had a hell of a career.
Great career.
Hell of a career.
20,
so
like 20 years.
If I'm just going off of like body of work, John Starks, Ben Wallace, UD, Bruce Bowen, and maybe Avery Johnson.
You over Avery Johnson. I ain't rolling.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? I'll let you say
sure.
Shout out to the OG.
Avery Johnson, a legend, though.
I said shout out to the OG.
Yeah, shout out to the OG.
Now, come on, Draymond.
I said shout out to the OG. I got mad.
Now, Draymond, come on, Draymond. I've been supporting you from all your Warrior days.
I got mad love.
And you know Fred, you one of my all-time favorite point guards.
All-time favorites. I got a lot of love for the OG.
Yeah.
I meant no disrespect by that. But, you know, I think I will go with Fred.
I'm still playing. We're gonna go guys that already finished their career. That's how we clean it up.
And I like to add one more person. Calvin Cambridge.
Listen, man. Listen. No disrespect to the OG. We will revisit that because we ain't going nowhere. But we have kept Fred way over the time. I thank you so much for both of us coming on the show again, bro. It's always love. Appreciate you. Keep guiding them young boys. Doing your thing, my dog.
So appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. That's a wrap.
Next week, Afro Tech, baby.
Look at him. He know he trying to go to Area 29. Stop acting like you going to go to Afro Tech.
What's that?
Yeah.
What's that?
Shoot, you'll see.
It's cracking?
Yeah, enjoy.
Okay.
I'll see you next week.
Afro Tech, here I come.
Afro Tech.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.
Peace.